Ladies and gentlemen, the following is another amazing episode of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. In one corner, we have the greatest thing on God's green earth. No, we're not talking about money, Mary Jane, or Popeye spinach. He's the tranquil dark of Ringside Society and Delaware's greatest American hero. It takes two to make a thing go right. He's Rob Bass, and you are not. And the second corner, we have that ocean crossing, straight up Boston, flight catching, shot glass snatching, always on the go. Catch him if you can. Said his name in Guyana. Now they love him in Japan. No cap, the worldwide star boy, Remy Blue. And our special guest tonight is a man who is making major moves. Not only is he the biggest Hardy Boys collector, the man has good taste, by the way, if you like the Hardy Boys. Shout out to Jeff Hardy. You made life, very enjoyable for me as well. He is also a graduate with the Nightmare Factory Class 1. And he already has his own action figure. That's right. Look at that man's action figure right there. A lot of people don't even have that yet. And they've been wrestling for years. Everybody, welcome to the show, The Answer, Josh Breezzyy. Josh, how you doing tonight?
Woo! Round of applause, everybody. What's going on, y'all? Happy to be here.
That's cool, man. So yeah, you're in Georgia right now, man?
No, I'm actually in my house in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Oh, okay. You right around where I'm at. I'm actually in Jacksonville.
Okay.
For like a couple more days.
Yeah, I'm actually leaving here in 2 weeks. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
My final days.
Yeah. You and me both. I got one more day because I'm actually getting out of the Navy. So
my last thank you for your service.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. But yeah, my last day is Monday, but I'm leaving before. I'm actually trying to make that. I'm gonna try to see if I can make that. Whatchamacallit. Y'all got a show in Burlington.
Yes.
I'm trying to make that show in Burlington this Saturday, and then from there I'm gonna head off to New York, which is where home is and so on. So
yeah. So I'm originally from Long Island, so New York is home.
Oh, that's what's up. Hey, yo, Josh, you gonna kick my ass, brother? But I didn't even realize you were black. You were black, brother. Like when I first saw you, I was like, I saw the whole showcase, student showcase 1, and I was like, these guys are nice guys. They got a big pop. I mean, they over with the crowd. And I thought it was white guys. Then I saw you hit me. You actually when we first talked, I was like, wait a minute. And I saw you got the curly hair. I'm like,
yes, sir.
This guy, he's a brother. And then I saw you had your hair back. And you look kind of like Steph Curry. No offense, Steph Curry's a great. I was thinking, this brother look like Steph Curry. And then I got to thinking, hey yo, Josh Breezzyy with the swanton. They say Steph Curry with 3 points. You got Josh Breezzyy with the swanton. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man.
Yeah, no, that's something I've been dealing with my whole life, honestly. Like nobody ever really looks at me for the first time. It's like, oh, you one of us. Nah, it's always like, yeah, man, my dad's black. So
honestly, don't feel ashamed. I got it probably kind of worse than you because my mom is originally I'm from Guyana. My family's from Guyana, which is South America. My mom is black and East Indian, and my dad is black, Native American, and Venezuelan. Okay. And he got like my pops has your complexion. So those mixtures, whenever I grow my hair out even more, people are like, yo, you Dominican, man?
I was about to say, you look kind of Dominican.
I had a sister come up to me and she started saying, hola, ¿cómo estás? And she was black. And I'm like, what? She's like, you're not Hispanic? I'm like, no. A brother can't have some curls, man?
Right? Sheesh. Got the nice curl pattern and everybody think he's Spanish.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So how's yeah, man. The night you've been doing your thing. You actually graduated from one of the most prestigious schools. The Nightmare Factory. Very impressive schools, man. A very impressive school. Y'all had like 3 student showcases right now. I've been very impressed by what I've seen. I'm like, yo, these people are really putting on work, man. Cody and Coach Glacier, QT. Like, they putting in work on y'all, man. Like,
yes, they are, and it goes even deeper than that. Everybody down to our nutritionist, QT's wife, Carolyn. She's great. The strength and conditioning coaches, Ian, Chip, they're great too. And it's as long as you're there and you're putting in the work, there's no way you can fail. Like Like in our class, especially, none of us except I think just Dean and Brooke had a little bit of training, but everybody else, this is our first time stepping in the ring. So it's like the fact that we were able to, in 12 weeks, put on such a great show, no miscues, really. Everybody looks solid. And now everybody you see, half the class is on AEW Dark. So it's like in 12 weeks, QT, Cody, and everybody that was involved, even down to guys from the Dark Order, 10 and 5, helping us out, Aaron Solo, Baron. Like, we really were like microwaved into being solid professional wrestlers in 12 weeks, which is insane.
Yeah, I was I saw this, so I did it kind of like backwards. I saw the second student showcase. I didn't know about the first one.
Okay.
And it was, I don't know if you ever met this guy, Charlie Avell. Charlie Avell told me that the second, he was in the second class.
Okay.
And he told me that the student showcase was, was going to take place soon. Mm-hmm. So, me, I like seeing student showcases because, it's just something about them. And the second one took place the same time. I forgot what the WB pay-per-view was. But when I saw that student showcase and I saw the WB pay-per-view, I was like, man, the student showcase was better than most of this card, man. Like, that's Rob, you probably remember which one it was. The one with the zombies came out and grabbed the Miz and whatnot.
It was the zombies one. Yep, I remember that too.
And I'm like, yo, like, the student showcase 2 was better than this. I mean, Jet Dade coming out and playing beer pong in the middle of a battle royal was better than this. And I'm not trying to knock WWE because I'm pro wrestling. I'm not pro WWE or pro AEW. I'm pro wrestling. So is Rob and so is our other host Kathy. But I'm like, man, this stuff ain't it, man. Like, nah, man. The student showcase 2 is better than this.
There's a way to do comedic angles, like for instance, the Nice Guys. We came out of a giant Happy Meal box, like that's so comedic and out there, and like, but then like, so that got over with the crowd. But then like WWE has these zombies eating the Miz, and it's just like, no, like it's fake. It's so fake that it doesn't. You can't, like, obviously pro wrestling, like you have to suspend your belief, but like zombies, like. Come on now. Like, that's just too far. Happy Meal box makes sense.
Yeah. And then you had I always call this one of the most badass entrances in the Nightmare Factory Student Showcase history. Cat Spencer and Brooke Howard pulling up in that black vehicle. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was like, yo, that's that's boss right there, man. That's cool stuff right there.
So
man.
when I heard they were doing that, I was sitting next to QT's wife Carolyn, and I'm like, man, it'd be cool if we came out of like a giant Happy Meal box, like how the New Day did the cereal box. And then and I was just kind of joking, just like, oh, they get this cool entrance, and we're just gonna come out to my music. And then she was like, no, that's a great idea. Like, I'll talk to QT right now. And I was like, really? And then she was like, yeah, like if you can make it happen, let's go. We'll give you the money. We'll get it done. I was like, all right, bet. So then it happened, and it was just like, so like really, I owe that whole entrance to Brooke and Kat.
Yeah, man. But that was really cool. And then at the end, y'all like all y'all did y'all's like finishers on each other.
Oh yeah.
That was like, I was like, yo, that's cool stuff, man. Yeah, I'm looking. I still got to see part 3. But I'm gonna wait because what we're doing, we're trying to get we're coming for everybody from class 1, man. Like, I don't know if you've seen it. We had Dom Damien, we had Logan Taylor, Cat Spencer and all of them. So we trying to go for everybody, man, and then after we're gonna go to class 3. So class 3, if y'all watching, we ain't forgot about y'all. We know we seen y'all. We coming for y'all once we throw a class 1. But
class 3 has one of my favorite acts in Kid Bandit. I don't know if you've seen any of his stuff.
Oh, I saw him.
Man is killing it. I was there, and it's funny. I don't know if he wants me to tell this story, but before it started, I was in the weight room with him, and he was talking to me about being nervous and doing this top rope finish, and I was like, bro, just go for it. And then he hits it, and if you watch, I'm like ringside, and as soon as he hit it, I was like, let's go, and I got this big ass pop because I knew just I knew doing the Swanton when I did it at the showcase, I was nervous, and I know that feeling of like, man, I don't want to mess this up, and like how much courage it takes to climb that rope and get there and do the Swanton. So like especially his was like some crazy 3-6, all these spins and stuff, and I was like, bro, you got this, you just gotta go for it. And then seeing him do it, I was just like, yeah, it was like when you bring your kid to T-ball for the first time and he gets a hit.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
So I've been following Nightmare Factory because, like I said, that's one, like, you know what, I'm gonna admit it. Nightmare Factory is one of my favorite wrestling schools. I'm gonna admit it right now. I'm not biased. I'm not saying I'm not gonna interview anybody else in wrestling, but that's one of my. I like seeing like, you know, what y'all producing, like the shows y'all produce and so on. And Kid Bandit, I remember talking to him. He was the one with the colored hair.
Yeah.
You know, some people were making jokes like, I think somebody compared it to Naruto, which in Naruto is pretty badass.
He looks like an anime character, which is great. It's pro wrestling. Why wouldn't you want to look like an anime character?
But you know, the thing that I'm convinced something is wrong with me, when I see people cracking on somebody making jokes, I'm that guy that's like, yeah, congratulations, you're a comedian. But I want to know what their story is. No cap, no funny business, not for no kicks. But I want to know what your story is, because you seem to have people talking about, like the CM Punk dude that we had on, the CM Punk fan, that got emotional when CM Punk came back.
Okay.
Like, I was like, some people made fun of him, but I legitimately wanted to talk to that guy because
there's obviously a reason for it, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
and then there was another. Yeah, and then there was I'm to make a long story short, I don't know if you know the Diamond Sheik. His brother,
that's my guy.
Yeah, Diamond Sheik's brother, Scooby. First time I saw him was in the crowd. I'm like, people were saying, some people made fun of him, some people didn't, but I'm like, I want to know that brother's story. I want to talk to that guy. And, you know, we were lucky enough to have him on the show, you know, and we're very grateful for that. Shout out to Scooby, by the way. But
shout out to Sheik too. That's my guy.
Yeah, man, Diamond Sheik, man. So I gotta ask, man, like, what was the wrestling show or pay-per-view or match that made you become a fan of professional wrestling?
Honestly, any of those 3-way ladder matches with the Hardys, the Dudleys, and Edge and Christian, just seeing how, like, all the risks that were taken and and it's funny because, so, like, I'll admit it, I'm not the best technical wrestler in the world, but, like, even Cody said, like, I have a psychology for it. So, like, even just watching the little things that they were doing and the stories they were telling was just interesting to me. And when people say, like, pro wrestling or WWE, AEW is like, it's like a telenovela or something for men, it's so true. Because just, even as a kid, like, I was so into the, oh my God, get up. Like, the story, it just had me on the edge. Like, seeing Jeff do the Swanton off of the biggest ladder in the world, and then coming back the next pay-per-view and finding a bigger ladder. It's like, bro, like, this is crazy. This is blowing my mind. So right then and there, I was definitely just hooked into everything Hardy Boys. Wherever Jeff went, I went. Wherever Matt went, I went. When Jeff was on TNA and Matt was still with WWE, I was watching both, figuring out a way to find TNA, doing all these things. And I even used to, my bedtime when I was a kid was like 8 o'clock, but Raw came on at 9. So I would pretend to fall asleep, turn the TV on, mute it instantly, and then watch Raw on mute because I just needed to see what happened next this week. So it's like, even goes back to just being a kid and just falling in love with it.
Yeah, the Hardy Boys were one of my favorites. I remember the first time I saw them back in '99. Actually, I was 16 at the time, and I was like,
I was 3.
Yeah, I'm an old man, so yeah, I'm touching 40 in 2 years.
Okay.
But I remembered seeing them for the first time. They had like the tight fitting tops and the baggy jeans. I was like, yo, that's so cool. And I saw the flips that they would do. And at the time I was in swimming class, and once the lesson for the day was over, I think we got like 30 minutes, I think 15 minutes to just do whatever, play around, be on the diving board. And I would head straight to that diving board and try to do like a swanton bomb or a moonsault or some kind of like corkscrew plancha and so on. Like, I was like, yeah, you know, it's time to do what the Hardy Boys do, but just in a pool. And Yeah, man. And then later on in life, when Jeff Hardy got the little tiger stripe beard, I had it too at one point. I was rocking that, and yeah, man.
Okay.
Hardy Boys were definitely something, man.
You
And
didn't
I always say, like,
you weren't a
go
kid
ahead.
living right if you didn't try and do a swanton off the couch or the chair to your little brother, your little sister. Anyone could get this swanton.
Yeah. But I remember when I accidentally did a swanton. I was trying to do some other flip, and I did a swanton. And me being creative, I used to call it teenage. And y'all don't judge me for those y'all watching, because I know everybody gets offended by everything now. But this was the '90s. I used to call it teenage suicide, because it looked like I was trying to, like, do something to, like, end myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was I did a swanton by mistake. But then again, I was like, wait a minute, I just did a swanton. I'm gonna try it again. And yeah, it was those are definitely fun times. And I gotta ask you, man. So we're speaking about the Hardy Boys. Do you think Matt Hardy got a fair shake early in his career?
Because I always Matt Hardy got a fair shake early in his career.
Yeah, I always say that Matt Hardy's career should have taken off the moment Lita. You met that whole Edge and Lita, Matt Hardy, Edge and Lita debacle that they had. I always said he should have been elevated to world champion status when that happened.
Okay, I think the biggest problem, I think that originally could have been the plan, but I think during that time, because that was so real, because it actually happened in real life, and Matt also, like, if you really recall, Matt leaves TV for a little bit after that whole Edge and Lita thing, because he was drinking, doing drugs, all this other outside stuff. So I feel like the original plan was for Matt to come out on top and then get elevated. I just feel like a lot of personal demons. Now, I wasn't there, obviously, so I don't know. But I think that a lot of backstage stuff and personal demons kind of deterred him the same way they did Jeff a lot. I just think that Jeff was always cooler, so they kind of looked past it. But I feel like with Matt, he got in the way of himself a lot early on in his career. So I think with the whole version 1 Matt Fax thing and like the European run, I believe the cruiserweight run, were all like tests. Like, all right, let's put this middle class belt on him, see what happens. And then I feel like he would get over, but not Jeff over. So then they always just were like, well, we have Jeff, we don't really need Matt. And then with the whole Edge and Lita storyline and just Matt's personal things, they were just like, all right, you know what? We're just going to put you to the side. It's not worth our investment. Matt's going to kill me.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
that's
I mean, because I always look back at this. I always look back at the stuff that Matt Hardy, like, he had his own characters. I remember he had one called the Angelic Diablo, and he had the promos for it. And I was like, and I don't like to play armchair booker, but I always like to think that I could always, like, write pretty good storylines and so on. And I'm like, this is a great idea. Why are they not pushing this? This is what should elevate Matt to become a world champion. Like, this right here. And then they were like, they shot it down. I'm like, are you serious? Like,
sounds about
and
WWE.
I always say that Matt Hardy was he's still in the game, has one of the most brilliant minds in professional wrestling. He's one of the most underrated creative people. Well,
also without a doubt.
One of the most, he's very underrated when it comes to creativity, and people like him, you just gotta let them do their own thing, and just see how it is. And I think that he got to do it in Impact, which was good, because Broken Matt Hardy was over. Like, I don't care what anybody said. It
was the most over thing in the world.
Yeah, like, highlight for the 2010s, the whole war at the Hardy compound on Impact.
Yep.
That was I would never forget that. You had Hurricane Helms
Oh yeah,
saying,
with the big one. Mm-hmm.
yeah, he's like, you bury more people than the man with
Man with
2
3
inches.
inches. Yep.
Yeah.
That was good. Nah, honestly, like if you think about it, Matt Hardy is probably like honestly, if I the only thing I really want to do if I go to a dark is be part of the Hardy family because I just want to learn from him. Like it has nothing to do with my love for the Hardy Boys. It's just he's such a great storyteller in the ring. He has the creativity to be like, all right, let's do this, and all right, you want to do this, but let's do it this way. And then, if you really think about it, Matt got over a drone, a lawnmower. Senior Benjamin, who is just his father-in-law, is the most over guy. A lake, like he was the boat, the dilapidated boat. Like he got all these things over by himself on Impact in front of 100,000 viewers weekly. He was getting it over to the point where when they returned at WrestleMania, got the biggest reaction to date outside of maybe CM Punk. So it's like, why are we not like, why did nobody ever just say, hey, Matt, you know what? Here's the ball, run with it. I feel like even like when he did the Woken Matt Hardy, like they kind of gave him a little leeway, and then Vince was quickly like, no, we're going to do it like this. And if you want to do it, we're going to do it my way. And I think that's why it failed, because Matt never got the chance to let loose. He just was under these restraints.
Yeah, that's why I always look back at that and I was like, Vince needs to just let people do what they want. And that's why I like AEW, because AEW is like, okay, we're gonna give you some creative control and see where it goes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's what I like with them. You know, they've been a breath of fresh air, and I've seen. And the thing is, I don't want WWE to fail. I don't want them to fail, but at the same time, I wish they would just follow suit and just trust people and let them do their thing. You know,
exactly.
You know, that's what's killing them right now. It's like, you know, you're not gonna lose because at the end of the day, you're getting money in your pocket.
Yep.
So just let them do their thing. It'll benefit them and it'll benefit you, because you're going to be gaining the profit as well too. But hey, I mean, I guess that's wrestling for you. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm just a fan, so. But
yeah, it'd be like
yeah. So, not to digress. Now that you know you're a fan of professional wrestling and you're cheering your favorites and whatnot, did you ever get to go to any wrestling shows when you were like growing up, like WWE, Impact, independent shows?
Yeah, so when I was a kid, like younger, like 10, 12, we used to go to the shows at the Nassau Coliseum on Long Island. Whenever WWE would come and do live shows there, my parents would usually bring me. And then when I got older, for my high school graduation, I went to a TNA Impact show in the city at, I think, the Manhattan Center. And that was pretty cool. It was the Hardy Boys versus like Eddie Edwards. It was when they did like that 3-way with Eddie Edwards and with the Wolves and Team 3D, and they had that like series. That was a cool night. Jeff called me to ringside, gave me his armbands. That was cool. But other than that, I never really got to go to any like bigger shows until I was older.
Okay. Nice. Yeah. So how did your journey go from, you know, wrestling fan to now wrestler? Like how'd you like get up, like get in with the Nightmare Factory and all that good stuff?
All right. So anybody who knows of me knows that I was a shining star in the hip hop world. 2020 Artist of the Year, studio in my house, all these good things. But then the pandemic hit and I had a tour ready to go for this year or for 2020. And the pandemic was like, no, sorry, everything shut down. Nobody's going anywhere. Stay inside. So I was like, well, what do I do now? So I was talking to a couple of my friends about like, you know, I'm getting unemployment. I'm just getting all this excess money. I'm buying all these action figures. but I want to do something. I can't go to the gym. Maybe I'll buy a wrestling ring and just put it in my backyard. So I was like, all right, that's cool. So I started looking into that a little bit. Like, can't go to the gym, so I might as well just wrestle in the backyard. Like, who wouldn't want a wrestling ring? And I was like, well, that's a lot of money to buy a wrestling ring. So I was like, what can I do elsewise? So then the Nightmare Factory had posted that they were doing this student teaching class thing with Cody and everything. So I applied just out of sheer whatever. If it happens, it happens. So then some time went by. I kind of forgot about it. And then I actually was going to go to Firestar Pro Wrestling here in North Carolina. And I was on my way there for my first day when I get a call from a Jersey number as I'm driving. So I decline it, like, whatever. I get spam calls all the time. So then I get a text, and it's like, hey, this is QT from the Nightmare Factory. Just give me a call back, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, shit, what? Oh, my fault. I don't know if I can curse. I was like, oh, man.
You're good.
I was like, oh, man, like, what? So I pull over into this church that's like the only building for miles on this highway in the middle of nowhere, North Carolina. Pull over. I call him back. I'm like, hey, how's it going? He's like, hey, what's up? Blah, blah. You know, a spot opened up. It's yours if you want it. Here's the deal. Blah, blah, blah. Just let me know. And I was like, all right, that's a big commitment, a change. I live 6.5 hours away. It starts in 2 weeks. I kind of just need some time to figure it out. So then I talked it over with my person at the time. It was like, is this something I really want to do? Is everything, we're going to be straight? If I do this, I'm going to be gone for 12 weeks, et cetera, et cetera. I got the okay. And then I found a friend to stay with in Atlanta. Shouts to Asia for letting me sleep on your living room floor for a few weeks. And that was kind of it, man. I just kind of took a shot in the dark and ended up there. And now I'm here.
Wow, that's cool, man. That's cool.
Yeah, it's crazy how, like, my goal was in life as a kid was never like, yeah, I'm going to be a pro wrestler. Like, I just always loved it in the background. And then, like, I was doing everything, and then life was just like, nah, bro, this is where you need to go. Sorry. You did great in the music, but hey, let's go be a pro wrestler. So now I'm here.
Yeah, that's cool, man. And it actually worked out because you graduated. I mean, I heard y'all had like 12 weeks of intense training and whatnot. You know,
Yes.
some people actually were there for the first week, but then after they dropped out and so on.
Yes,
And then you know, but at the end of the day, you know, you were actually able to make it through. And, you know, now you're actually like a licensed professional wrestler. What was that feeling when you graduated? You're with the first ever graduating class of Nightmare Factory. You know, right now there's probably a plaque. I told Dom Damien this. I told the Reverend Brian Andrews. I'm probably going to tell the remainder of the guests from the first class that we've had that we're going to have on the show the same thing. You know, right now there's probably a plaque, a group photo of y'all on that wall.
there is.
And whatever the 57, 60 something years later,
There's always going to be just one first class.
Yeah. And somebody's going to look at that photo and be like, yo, that's Josh Breezzyy. Yo, he did that wicked senton bomb off the top rope and won that title, man. Mm-hmm. Yo, hold up. Ain't that Dom Damien? Yo, he was in Impact Wrestling, man. Yo, he's fighting for the X Division title. Or they're going to be like, yo, that's the Reverend Brian Andrews. Yo, son is huge, man. Like, real talk. I just saw that guy in AEW. Mm-hmm. Like, it's great. You know, that's history right there. And, you know, how did it feel like, you know, getting that certificate, getting that pat on the back from your coaches and saying, hey, congratulations, you made it through. You can actually go ahead and take bookings as a professional wrestler all over the country, if not all over the world.
It was great, man. It was cool to come back. Shouts to TSF, John and Hunter. Great match. Love working those guys. Need to work them more. We had a great match together, and then we came back. We all sat down, and my guy Cody was like, you know, great job, this, that, and the third. And Quintamius was like, you guys suck. Who taught you? Because it wasn't me. But it was great to just go back and just hear good things, and, you know, just get that seal of approval, and just because I know they're such big names, for them to be like, hey, we co-sign you is huge. Like, even so, like, to relate it back to music, like, I have a record with Mr. Porter from D12, who's also Eminem's hype man. So it's like,
yo. No, like I had both albums. I had Devil's Night, and what was the other one? I
D12
think
World.
Devil's Night was the second one,
Mm-hmm.
and Devil's Night was the second one, and I forgot what I think the first one was self-titled. But I know about Denon Porter. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
he produced
crazy.
a record, and then he did a feature for me. And yeah, so it's like getting his co-sign is the same to me, is the same as like Cody. Like, even now, like I don't go to the Nightmare Factory as often because I'm in the middle of moving and everything. But like when I came back for the Student Showcase 3, Cody like stopped mid conversation. It was like, it's the Kobe Bryant of Hardy Boys Figure Collecting. Breezy, what's up, man? So it's like, just to be able to have that like relationship with the coaches, and not just them take our money and be like, all right, I don't ever want to see you again, is just dope to me in person. So.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. So you debuted as one half the Nice Guys.
Yes, sir.
How'd that tag team come about, man? I know you guys are, you guys decided to go your separate ways. Maybe we'll see you guys down the line, maybe a reunion, or maybe one-on-one. But how'd that tag team come to be?
So it's funny. So one of the things that we do at the Nightmare Factory is promo classes, and they wanted to do a tag team promo night, and it was just randomly selected. So me and Jacob got put together randomly, and we were like, what are we gonna do? And me being who I am, I wanted to just go all in. I was like, he already had his jacket all airbrushed and all this stuff. He already had his character. I was kind of just floating around ideas. So I was like, I'm going to get the same jacket. I'm going to make it similar, but a little different, more me. And if we're going to do this, we're going to do it. We're going to go all in, baby. So we do this promo in front of Cody. And even if you go to the Nightmare Factory Twitter and Cody's Twitter, we actually won promo of the night. He took a picture of us with the jackets and everything. And he was like, no matter what you guys thought you were going to do, you guys are the nice guys now. So we were like, all right, I guess we're the nice guys now. So then it was cool. And we started working on different things and putting stuff together in spots. And that's pretty much it, man. Cody was just like, you guys are the nice guys. And then we were like, all right, bet, let's figure it out. So we made it work. And even though we did go our separate ways, and, I hit him over the head with the Kool-Aid bottle in Burlington, North Carolina. I enjoyed every match we did together. We took a lot of L's together. Everywhere we go, it seemed we were booked to lose, but nice guys. We always finish best, man.
Man, when you told me that y'all were no longer a tag team, I was like, oh, no more nice guys. And then you told me that y'all came about the Happy Meal spot, and I was like, I was thinking, did this man super kick this man and throw him back into the Happy Meal? Because I'm thinking like Shawn Michaels, that infamous Rockers breakup, and I'm thinking that was one of the harshest tag team breakups of all time.
Yeah.
And it's funny because the second harshest tag team breakup, and it's funny, they say karma's a so and so. 10 years later, Triple H did the same thing to Shawn Michaels. Yeah. It wasn't as harsh, but he turned on him when they were trying to reform DX. So, but yeah, man.
Yeah, it just, with me being in North Carolina and him still being in Atlanta, and then trying to figure out bookings and me getting places, it just wasn't the right time for us. So, like I said, I'm still cool with Jacob. No problem. No actual beef. It was just really just a conflict of scheduling, us both wanting to go different ways, characteristically, if that's a word. That's a big word. So it was time. We did our little run, came up with a way to storytell it on my part. A lot of people were upset behind the scenes that I wanted to storytell and make it make sense to people who, like you would have never known we were broken up. So if one day you just watch a Josh Breezzyy match and I'm not the nice guy anymore with the face paint, you're like, wait, what happened? So I wanted, if that were to happen, I wanted there to be something where you could go back and be like, oh, this is what happened. They won their first match. They were celebrating backstage. Josh turned on Jacob. Now Jacob is a baby face. I'm a heel. So it's like I wanted there to make sense.
Awesome. Cool. So I just got one more question before I turn it over to Rob.
Okay.
I know I normally have two questions, but I know that obviously your goal is to get on AEW, one of the big promotions, and get your brand, Josh Breezzyy, more exposure as well too. Mm-hmm. But my last question is, your coach Cody Rhodes, when he left WWE several years ago, he actually I do have two more actually, but they're second last. He actually said that he actually had a list of opponents he wanted to face in the very near future. Yep. And of course, he posted that on social media. Other wrestlers started doing it as well. Mm-hmm. So my question for you is, who are Josh Breezzyy's top 5 opponents that he wants to face in the near future? They could be from anywhere: WWE, AEW, Impact, the Indies, your own training class or another training class in Nightmare Factory. Anybody.
So my top 5 people are going to look at me nuts for my list, but my list is my list, and it's going to be that way. Carly Bravo, number 1. I love Carly. Okay. That's my guy. The last time we wrestled, he put my tooth through my lip, concussed me. So we got some unfinished business there. So Carly Bravo, number 1 on the hit list. Matt Cardona.
Nice.
Mike Bennett. He owes me a match. He's been ducking me on Twitter, but Mike, Mike said that we gonna fight. Let's get it. Let's see. Matt Hardy or Jeff Hardy, whichever, both, whatever, however you want to put the Hardy boys in there. That's what, 4. And then QT Marshall. Quintavious himself.
Student versus teacher. That'd be cool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's cool. I honestly hope you get to actually have most of those matches, if not all, because then that'd be definitely a great feeling. But since you mentioned, and you got good taste, man. Mr. Porter from D12, that's cool, man. So I gotta say, man, I got another top 5, for you. Oh, when you're working out, you go into the gym and getting your workouts in and whatnot. Like I know that's a part of pro wrestling as well. Mm-hmm. What are your top 5 today? Because I know it's always changing. Like my playlist always changes too. But what are your top 5 hip hop songs that you like to work out to that gets you that like, yo, I'm here. I got the right song. I'm about to get these reps in and do it like a boss.
I can't really narrow it down by song, but I will say the last 2 weeks, I've started every morning with a super coffee and the song 24 by Kanye off of Donda.
All right.
Start every morning like that just to get my morale up and just feel good and just know that it's going to be a good day. But at the gym, honestly, I just have a playlist. It's all Eminem's, Eminem, Joe Budden, Royce the 5'9". There's some Tech 9 in there and some older Kanye, like Graduation Kanye. So that's what I listen to when I'm working out, just lifting and stuff like that. So it's just a cycled playlist of a whole bunch of different things as far as that goes.
That's
and myself,
cool.
I'll throw on some Josh Breezzyy every now and again.
Okay, hey, nothing wrong with that too. You know what I'm saying? Believe in yourself, man. Bump your brand and whatnot too. Let them know all over. You know what I'm saying? That you don't just wrestler. You're also a hip hop artist. You're also a hip hop artist too. So
yes, sir.
Yeah, man. First I always tell people, man. People tell me, yo, they might tell me, yo, you a fan of your stuff. I'm like, yeah, fan equals love. I mean, you love something. When you're a fan of something, you love something. So exactly. I always say, before you love something else, before you love somebody else, something else, you gotta love yourself first. Ain't nothing wrong with loving yourself, right? So there it is.
Exactly. Speaking of love, we're 39 minutes in. I just want to send a shout out to my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful girlfriend. Love my life, Fatima Brown. If you're watching, huge shout out to you. Should have been 38 minutes ago. My bad. But anyways, let's just slide that in there so she can't be mad at me.
At least you made it happen, man. At least you made it happen.
Clip it, post that.
I'm gonna turn it over to Rob real quick. I know you got some questions for you. Hey, yo, Rob Bass, go ahead, man. The floor is yours.
Big Rob.
All right, sweet. Thanks, Remy. So what's going on, man? How was your day today, man?
Not bad. I can't complain.
Oh, yeah.
Just packing.
Feeling pretty good
getting
out
ready.
that way?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Oh, yeah, it's not too bad. Well, that's good. Man, you were just talking about, listening to Joe Budden and stuff, man. I met Joe Budden after a concert or whatever, way back in the day when he came out with that song Pump
Oh,
It Up,
pump it
right?
up. Yep.
Yeah, my friend, he worked at at the time he worked at a convenience store right next to the college where he performed. So I stopped in to see my buddy because he was getting off, like he was getting ready to close, and I was like, yeah, man, let's go hang out or whatever after work and all. And Joe Budden comes in, and I remember a couple girls, they were like, oh my God, that's Joe Budden. I was like, oh snap, what's up? I remember he walked up there, his eyes were so red. I walked up and just stopped. You know what I mean? He went up to the counter and was like, I want all those Phillies and give me all those condoms. I was like, yo, can I ride with you, man? Do you need a hype, man? Like, yeah, what is up?
Thanks.
Come on.
My
Man, I
God.
was like, man, what's up? And I also met Freaky Ty there, like, not long before he passed, when Lost Boys, they did a concert. I met him there, and I was like,
Okay.
trying to get his autograph. No, I didn't have anything. I was like, man, I got $1. Can you sign this $1? He was like, I'm not signing no $1. Man, get out of my. I was like, oh, and I grabbed the shield, and I was like, yeah, let me sign my shield. I was like, all right, cool.
Okay. Hey, man.
It was all good. Yeah, I tried to, man. Yeah. Yeah, it was cool, man. I remember Joe, but I'll never forget that Joe Budden. I was like, man, I want to go on tour with him, man. He sounded like
That's
he
my
looked like he was
guy.
about to have some fun.
Definitely. The early Joe definitely was getting into some business.
Oh yeah. One time I was went on tour with Cat Williams, man. I went to see a Cat Williams thing. It was up here in Delaware. There, he's doing a show at U.A.D. And we're
Okay.
a couple buddies of mine and stuff. We went up to see the show, and then afterwards he was having like a little meet and greet or whatever. And I was like, yeah, let's go sit there, hang out. And his boy or whatever came walking up to us and was like, hey, Cat wants to know if y'all got, da, 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 da. He wants to, and they're like, what? Because he was like during the show, he's like, man, white guys always had the best stuff, all this stuff, right? We're like, oh man, we're like, hold on, well, we don't believe you, man. Go over there. And then he went up there. Cat was like, we're like, ran to the car, came back. You know what I mean? Then we went in there, it was like hanging out in the tour bus, right? And they literally shut the doors, turned it on, and was like getting ready to leave. And I'm sitting there, I was like, I'm gonna sit down while they playing Madden and stuff, right, man? My God, one friend's all there like, no, we gotta go, man. Our girlfriends. I was like, they ain't got no deal with me, man. You're driving, you know what I mean? Like, here are keys, you know what I mean? I'm about to go on tour.
Facts. Yeah, man. That's crazy.
Oh man, I was like, I should have went. That would have been fun.
Hell yeah.
Oh man. So I do gotta ask, man. You're talking about doing music and all that, man. For doing music, does it help with your breathing during wrestling and stuff? Because I do training stuff for like ref, all that backstage stuff. And when we
Okay.
like run and all, my trainer, he's always like, talk, sing, do something, to help with your breathing. So just in case, like I could be in there in an Iron Man match, like 60 minutes or whatever, you gotta get that, So does that
Yeah.
help out, from spitting bars, you know what I mean, to,
Definitely does, and vice versa too. Like wrestling and building up that in-ring cardio, because there's nothing like you can run on the treadmill for hours, and it's not the same as running the ropes. So just being able to breath control. So like my breath control skills from rapping help me adapt faster to the breath control when running the ropes, because when you hit those ropes, you kind of exhale and it's just a whole science behind it. And like, so being able to do that for rapping and all that stuff kind of helped me there. And then by building that strength, wrestling helps me with music as well. So it kind of goes hand in hand, actually. That's actually a really good question. I've never been asked that before. So that was a good question.
That's right. Because like there's that saying, you can be in shape, but you ain't in ring shape. Like what was the dude on the bikes? Lance Armstrong. Like he's in shape, he could be in shape, he could run, do bikes and all, but you put him in the ring, try to run the ropes, he'd be like, woo, like gas, man. I mean, woo, yeah, it's total difference.
You're running into metal wires, like that are smacking you in the ribs and just knocking. It's just totally different.
Oh yeah, there's many nights after training where I didn't hit it right. You know what I mean? When I first started, I was just like, oh, I got lines on my back. And I'm like, woo! Oh, is that a lump? Okay, woo! Oh my lord, man.
Yeah, that was like the first thing they told us after we started running the ropes. They were like, you guys are all gonna have bruises all over your ribs, and I was like, oh, all right, great. And then I actually was training with a broken rib, and I went to hit the ropes and I just crumbled like right there and was like, all right, no, I can't do it. So like when people see like the ropes, like, oh, those are soft, blah blah, it's just a rope. Like, no, it's a metal wire that's surrounded by basically a garden hose and some tape. And even the WWE ropes that are real ropes, like that's a solid, thick piece of tightly wound rope that doesn't really move.
Oh, I know. Yeah, that's right. And then people were like, "Oh, well, they land on soft pads and stuff." Like, no. I put that ring together, man. It's was it 2x10s or 2x12s, and then you might have a little thin pad, maybe like that, man.
Yeah,
the
they're
pads
about
I wrestled.
half an inch.
Yeah, the pads I wrestled on in high school were like 20, 100 times thicker. Yes, it's like, So yeah, man,
it's real.
Yeah, taking bumps. Yeah, it's like, woo. Yeah, man. Like,
there's days like, what match was it? I think it was one of the matches at Pro South that I did, and I couldn't get out of my car the next day. Like I sat down to go to like the store. There's like a delay. There's like a weird delay. You guys hearing that, or is it just me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, all right.
Oh no, he had a delay.
Yeah, there's like a weird delay going on. Anyways, so yeah, I couldn't get out of the car the next morning just because my back was so tight and everything, and it's just like, yo, this is real. Like, I get hurt. Like, this hurts. It's not fun. So.
Yeah, because I know. Yeah, after the day after taking bumps stuff, I was like, oh, I can't even breathe deep. I can't cough. I can't laugh. Man, my whole midsection.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was like, I'm good. Now, I wanted to ask you about your swanton, man. Like, how long did it take? Because, man, that thing looks awesome, the way you do it and stuff, man. How long did it take for you to get it done and stuff? And when you got on that top rope, man, how long did it take for you to balance? Because I've gotten on there, you know what I mean? I'm that's how my legs are, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm good. I mean, did that happen to you?
So, it's funny. Like, I've always been able to do a good swanton. Like, even as a kid or messing around the trampoline. And maybe a few months before, like when I first started thinking about getting the wrestling ring in my backyard, I had gone to this trampoline park by my house, and I was doing swantons into like the foam pits. And I was kind of just working on the technique and like not turning to the side and just straight over the top. So then the first time we were we brought out the crash pad and we were doing top rope moves. Cody was like, "What do you want to do?" And I was like, "A swanton, coach, of course, like the Hardy Boy guy here." So I get up there, and he told me how to put my feet. I put my feet there. I just stood up, and it was all right. I'm scared of heights, so it was like a little weird at first, and I kind of just stood up. I was like, all right, I got this. And I did it, and he was like, "That was great," and I was like, "All right, bet." So then, it's funny, in the showcase match, I was a little blown up, and I go to get up there, and we did the point at each other thing, and that threw off my balance. So if you watch the match back, when I do the point or the thumbs up, I kind of like lean and I kind of like do this like thing, and then I go into it. So like doing the thumbs up kind of threw me off a little. Then I caught myself. Then, like I said, in the match when I did that I had with Carly, I was concussed. So I'm up there, had no idea. I don't even remember the match. I'm up there concussed. I look over. We're supposed to do the thumb thing. I think I threw like half, like an Orange Cassidy thumb. And then I did it, and it was fine. I think I missed them by a little bit. But other than that, I've always just kind of just got it. Just the balance. You just put the rope in between like the middle of your shoe, and you're kind of all right. And like I wrestle in sneakers, so it's a little bit easier than if I wrestled in boots or something like that. Another good question.
That's true. So, man, yeah, I do gotta ask, man. When you were doing your face paint, where'd you come up with that idea, and how long did it take you to do your face paint, man? Was it a long time, like an hour or two, or were you like, I got this down pat?
So I actually have been Jeff Hardy too many times to count for like Halloween and stuff, and so when I do that, like I do his intricate things, and it takes like a half hour. So, but for the half a smiley face, Jacob's logo was him with half like this Venom like smiley face. So I was like, that would be dope if I painted the other half on my face because I wanted to do some kind of face paint. So with the yellow and my skin complexion, I have to do 2 coats for it to really shine, and then I just outline it black, do my eye real quick, and for the showcase match, I think it took me like 20 minutes. I actually have like a time lapse version on my Instagram, and it probably would have took me 15 if 10 from the Dark Order didn't stop me and be like, hey, can you put the hash marks on my chest? So I'm like, I got like my eye and like half of the yellow done, and I'm like, all right, do the thing, and I go back to work. But it doesn't take long. I think the longest one I ever did was the match that I wrestled after Carly broke my face. Me being a creative, I wanted to continue to tell that story. So I did, in my head, was a bruised smiley face. It was purple, blue, black. Mm-hmm. And then I had like stitches going across the smiley mouth in red. And like that took a long time because it was very abstractish, and I tried to kind of make it look messed up. Everybody didn't get it. Only I got it, but it felt good for me. That one took probably like 40 minutes. And it also depends on the space. Like if I'm in a bathroom or if I have like my phone in the locker room next to 33 sweaty dudes. But I use the same paint pens that Jeff uses, the Posca markers. I think I have one. Oh, it's all over there. But they go on pretty easy, so it's not like I see a lot of dudes use like the oil paints, like from like Halloween City, and that takes a lot longer. But these Posca paint pens are the real deal.
Another that's question. What's up. You said Posca paint pens?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I had to look into that. Yeah, I didn't know you could do that. You know, I mean, Halloween is coming up, man. I like doing those tours. I might have to do my face up or do something.
Yeah, man. You can get them on Amazon for like 20, or actually Michaels sells them in the store, but you can get like the bigger variety packs on Amazon for like $20.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, because I gotta order some ref shirts, a couple more ref shirts, man, just in case I'm in there and blood gets on me. I gotta change clothes and stuff, man. I need a couple of them, man. I got I'm gonna do that, man, because I think it's got a thing, $25 or more, you get free shipping. So I need to.
Okay.
I have to add something on, man.
There you go.
Now I do gotta ask, man, about your music career, man. Like, when did you know, like, I can do this hip hop thing, man? I can spit some bars, man. I'm gonna do this. What age were you like, I can do this? Because I always, man, like, I love hip hop, but I cannot freestyle, man, like for anything, man. I always like admired that, like, I wish I could do that.
So when I was growing up, I was always the odd one out growing up because like Remy said before, like I don't know what you are, like, so nobody really knew, and like my dad wasn't around, so I grew up with my white mom, so nobody knew, like, is he white, is he black, I don't know, I don't want to talk to him. So it was like I tried to fit in, and I tried to fit in with, because I played baseball too, so I tried to fit in with that group, and they kind of were like, nah, not really. And then I would try and fit in with like the basketball guys and like the black people, and they were just like, nah, not really. So they used to rap at lunch. They would take like a pen and somebody would make a beat, and they would get around and everybody would just start rapping. So I was like, this is my way in. Like, I already listened to hip hop, I could do it. So I wrote something that was kind of trash, but I memorized it, and I went one day and I sat there, and everybody kind of looked at me like, bro, what are you doing here? And then there was just that split second, I just jumped in, and they were like, all right, we fuck with you. You're cool. Come with us. That's when I got my Breezzyy name back then. That was 5th grade. Shout out to Taheem McKay, free Taheem. He gave me that nickname, and it's been my nickname ever since. But when I started taking it seriously was 11th grade. I was actually able to go to school for music production and audio production and things like that. And that's when I was like, I could really, like, I could do this. Like, I could do this as a job, like as a career. And that's when I started doing like my own branding, and I'm real big into marketing and everything like that. And for me, so like, I'm on the autism spectrum. So for me, like, rapping is just a puzzle. Like, I tell this, like, when people ask me, when I used to do like these freestyle pieces in college, they'd be like, yo, how are you rhyming these words? Because like I would just get up there with like 100 bars and just go. And people would be like, and they would just sit there like, bruh, like, and every week, so we every Wednesday there would be a like a poetry slam. I would get there, let's say it started at 9, I'd get there at 8:45, sit in the back corner of the room away from everybody, and just open my phone and just start going. And I would just start rhyming like all these crazy things, just like on some like Eminem like camp, like just and then I would get up there like close to the end, and I would try and incorporate things for like people that were there in the crowd and like throw them into a bar, so that, like if they stop paying attention, they get them back. And they were like, yo, how are you doing this? And I'm just like, bro, like it's just a puzzle to me. Like even like the other day I was in the car with my girlfriend. It was like that awkward time where like we kind of long car ride, we talked about everything, and I'm just like, yo, let's play a game. Like I'm gonna say a word and you just gotta rhyme with it. And she was like, no. And I was like, all right, bet. So then like there'd be like a road sign would pass, and then I would just come up with this like 7-syllable phrase that rhymes with this one word. And she'd be like, see, I don't know how you're doing that. And I'm just like, that's just how I break it down. And then so like once I learned how to make music through BOCES in 11th and 12th grade, I was just like, this is it for me. Like I love this. I would be in science class, flipped 2 or 3 pages in my notebook, rhyming words. I'd have different pen colors to like break up the syllables. So like this, like so what's written in purple pen rhymes with the next bar that's written in purple, and then orange would be so. And then like my teacher would come around, I'd flip back to the notes that I was taking, and he'd be like, I know you weren't taking notes. Show me what you were writing. And I'd be like, sorry, bro, I'm 16 bars into this. And then that was the good times, man. Shout out to Jason Hinchy, because he would take the notes for real and give me them after class. He would sit next to me and be like, yo, bro, he's coming. But yeah, once I was able to do it and I had that, then I was just like off to the races. I was recording songs in my closet in my mom's house, just handing out terrible music on these CDs at school for $1, just trying to generate something. And like people always like hit me up now. They're like, they'll find it like when they're cleaning something out and they're like, oh shit, and they'll send me a picture on Instagram and be like, hey, remember I bought this from you? And I'll be like, yo, bro, burn it, throw it out. Don't tell me about that.
Oh man.
But yeah, so once I really just invested in myself, I was just like, yeah, I got this.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, because I've seen some clips of your video and stuff, man. I was like, all right, yeah, man, that's how you do things, man. Yeah, that's what I like. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. I'm
What's
definitely a believer.
What's a video shoot like, man? How long do those usually take? Are they a couple days? Is it like a day thing or?
So for me, it's usually just one day. Depending on what it is we're shooting. So like the more film-centric videos that I've done, like my video for Feel Me took 2 days. Just because there was so much that went into it, different locations. So like in the beginning, there's this like movie basically, of what happened with my mom. And like we shot that in Jersey somewhere. And then we had to get in the car. I got a parking ticket. I had to deal with that. And then we drove to the Poconos to shoot literally like everything else, all the B-roll, all the like new house things and all this stuff. And like, so that was a whole trip in itself. And so that was a 2-day shoot. All I ever wanted was one day. It was a few hours on the beach. Funny with that was so everybody always gets on me about the dancer in that video, which is like this one girl, Ariel, and everybody.
The one that looked right into the camera. The one that looked right into the camera. Her.
Probably.
Okay.
And then she was like, everybody always gets on me on her, and I'm like, bro, we had 20 models lined up for that video shoot. 19 models canceled on us, literally within a 24-hour span. Like we were sitting in the hotel, like just chilling. Like I think we went to like Smoky Bones. And we were just like, yes, great, it's going to be a good shoot tomorrow. And boop, Instagram DM. Hey, sorry, something came up, can't make it. Boop, Facebook message. Oh, yeah, no, sorry, got my weekends mixed up, blah, blah. Boop, boop. And I'm like, yo, literally, I put my phone down. And then me and my boy Xavier were just sitting there like, what are we going to do? And I'm like, here's another one. Here's another one. And then I'm like calling my videographer who's at like a hotel down the block. And I'm like, yo, bro, like everybody's canceling. We need to I don't care if we got to go to a strip club and get somebody for this video. Like, this is crazy. And he's like, no, bro, it'll be okay. You still got, I think we still had like 5. He was like, I'll make it work. We could do outfit changes. It'll be straight. Like, all right, bet. I wake up that morning, 3 more people canceled. I'm down to 2. So it's Ariel and this other girl. And then like literally an hour before we get to the location, the other girl was like, yeah, no, my car, it was like a car issue. And I'm like, bruh, are you kidding? So if you watch that video, it's literally Ariel. And then like the younger people are just kids that we met on the beach that saw us shooting this video. And I guess they were there for like spring break. And they're like, yo, like, who are you? Like, so then like I had my my hype man and a couple other people that were helping with production just go around like, hey, you want to be in this video? And they were like, yeah, sure. And then they just hopped in, and they're like, what do you want us to do? I'm like, just do something behind me. I don't know. But that was a cool time. And then like in my head, which is what my favorite video is, the one where I'm in a psych ward. That was like 4 hours, which is insane. And shouts to everybody that was involved with that. Or I'm actually trying to put together. Speaking of the Hardy Boys, Matt Hardy's wife, Rebby, is actually supposed to shoot that video whenever I send her the storyboard. So that's a dope thing. So I'm hoping that it turns out super dope. But yeah, so music videos, it's a lot going into it. Just, it'd be easier if I wasn't so like focused on the creative aspect of things, just because like I want everything to be down to a T. Like with the In My Head video, I got this crazy idea to make it seem like I was building a real hospital. And like, so I had my friend like cutting these like, you know, those like commercials you see on like channel 11 at whatever time, middle of the day. They're like, are you suffering from blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I had her doing these things, and like I was photoshopping images that like you would see to advertise for this hospital, Breezzyy Acres. And like the illness that she was saying, do you suffer from, was like pareidolia or something. And it's like, it's a brain thing where you see monsters, like, or like scary things in your head. It's like similar to like a schizophrenia, but it's not as bad or something like that. And then because like the song is like monsters stuck in my head, so then like she was like, and it was so real, and like literally I was posting like videos of like construction, and like I made it so if you Google Breezzyy Acres, it pops up on the map at the abandoned asylum that like we were shooting in. And like I made a Facebook page, a website. People were like, yo, are you really making a like, where did you get the funds for this? Like, how are you doing this? And then like the last video that she shot was it like got all distorted and like all these things. And then there was like a clip from the video of me in the straitjacket and things. And then people were like, bro, you're really you did all that for a music video? I'm like, yeah, you got to go balls to the wall. But nah, so music videos are fun, man. I love them. I can't wait to do more, and hopefully I can soon.
That's right. Yeah, man. You said you're up here in Jersey and Poconos, man. I'm in Delaware, man. If you need an extra, man, I'm always, I could I could be the nerdy dude. I could be, somebody gets beat up, whatever. Yeah, I don't care. But yeah, you were saying you did that in an abandoned, asylum or whatever. And was there any poltergeist going on over there, man? Like, you're talking to somebody. I've never said Candyman or Beetlejuice or Bloody Mary 3 because, it's probably nothing's going to happen, but just in case, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, man, were there any poltergeist stuff happening up there, man?
So that there's so many stories about that place that we were in that it's just, to me, so like if you look at my YouTube page, I actually do a bunch of these. Like I go urban exploring all the time. I'll walk into any abandoned building and just start shooting. And I do ghost hunts. I believe my team commented in the chat earlier, Sean, shout out to him and Mel. We go hunting for these things. So it's funny that you bring that up. But in that specific asylum, I think years ago, that probably was, but there's so much foot traffic now that nothing is going to happen, because I believe that the way I think of the paranormal and things like that is you only really get activity when the spirit or whatever still thinks they're alive. So it's more of like a residual thing in my brain. So like in a place like that, if you do get a haunt or something, you're more than likely just going to get a former patient that still thinks they're in room 197, and is just, you'll get the door closing because they're closing the door in their world, but it's happening in your world because they don't know. So like when you get people just breaking in and starting fires and graffiti everywhere and this, that, and the third. Oh, there they go right here. True Exposure still in the chat. When you still get things like that happening, it's like eventually that energy is suppressed by the current world energy, if that makes sense. Because I'm a big believer in it's just the energy is trapped. Because like we just did this abandoned nursing home where one of the people were killed by their roommate. Ooh. And like shortly after that they closed down. And like the first time I went in there, I went just to explore it during the day, and I caught some voices and things just on my regular camera. So then me and them went back at nighttime, and like we got some responses and some things like that. And you could just tell that like there was energy there, and it's slowly drifting away because of people are in there every day destroying things, and they're just changing out the energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like to think like ghosts sometimes they'll like keep quiet for a little bit and lull you into a false sense of security and like, oh, ain't nothing gonna happen, and then bam, we got you, you know what I mean? So then when people tell stories like, man, this person disappeared, whatever, but like, man, they just moved away and there ain't nothing going on with it, and they keep coming up and the spirits keep feeding, and it's like, oh man, you gotta do like, yeah, you gotta do them seances, like power of Christ compels you and stuff like that, and oh my Lord, man.
We actually I was exploring this this abandoned hotel by the Nightmare Factory. It's they shot some of Zombieland 2 there.
Oh,
so
nice.
I was like, oh, this would be dope to explore. So I'm exploring it, and I'm editing the video, and I'm in like the back room, kind of by the kitchen area on the first floor, and I'm just walking, and there's a woman's voice that comes through. Mind you, like middle of the day, I'm the only person in here. And it's like, hey, love, let's go. And I'm like, what? Like, I ripped my headphones off because I'm like, what? Because I had no history on this. I just saw it. And I was like, what? So I take a video of it. I send it to my brother. I'm like, what do you hear? He's like, hey, something, let's go or something. It sounds like a girl. And I'm like, yes, bro. Sending it to this person, that person, this person, that person. They all hear it. So I'm like, I got to go back. So then I start digging. That hotel was actually used as a brothel before it became a hotel. It was like a hotel on this side, and the police department was actually using it as a brothel. And so to me, in my head, I made the connection that, hey, love, let's go in that area. That's what a prostitute would say, like, hey, baby, like, come on, come with me, like, take my hand, like, you know. So now I'm like piecing this all together. So then I go back with my spirit box. I got all these gadgets. I'm sitting in like that same general area, and I just feel this presence around me. So I put the spirit box on, and now I'm trying to communicate with that spirit. And now I'm getting this deep voice, this male spirit that's just like, get out, no. And then like I got a girl came through, and she said something, and I was like, is he not letting you talk to me? And like there was like a yes response. And I was like, that's crazy. And I was like, can you tell me what you said to me the last time I was here? Through my camera, not the spirit box. Hey, love, let's go. And I was like, that's nuts. So then like a little bit later, I ask again because I didn't hear it through the spirit box. And it comes through the spirit box. And I'm like, bruh, this is crazy. And then after that, I got no more female responses. And I kept getting the same like evil, dark spirit just... Even if I couldn't make it out, I could hear like that tone coming through, and I was just like, and I just kept seeing like shadow figures, and I was just like, nah, I need to get out. So then I dipped out, and I was gonna go back with Luther from AEW because he helps out at the Nightmare Factory, and we were gonna get together. And then I went back, and they had boarded it off and like put an electric fence around it, and I'm like, of course. But nah, that was honestly like one of the most craziest experiences in my life, just getting that solid proof that like I'm not crazy.
That's right. Man, I was getting ready to ask you, where do you get all that stuff and all, man? Because then I'm like, I was thinking in my head, man, I can get a bunch of people, and I'm like, nope, I do not want to invest. Now, I don't want to be a ghost hunter. I don't know if I will have the time, man. Like, oh man, please, what if a ghost follows me home, man? Oh
You
man, no,
just
I
got to
can't
do
do
some
that.
sage, man. Me and Sean,
right.
we always sage after we do a location. Sean has most of the equipment. Like I just have my camera, spirit box. Sean's got a REM pod, EMF detectors. He's got these like 2 little cat toy lick balls that like if they move, they light up and make noise. He just bought an SLS camera like on Ghost Adventures where it maps the people.
Mm-hmm.
He's invested.
Nice.
Yeah, we're trying to get a couple more things together, but
Yeah, I know if I do that, then my videos would be like me crying or soiling myself every time a voice or a ghost would come out because I'd be like, oh my God,
yeah.
where we gotta go?
We did this hospital out here in North Carolina, and we had the EMF down on like the floor and the REM pod, and we were like it kept interacting like directly with the REM pod. So for everybody that doesn't know what a REM pod is, it's like this little box with an antenna, and you have to get like this close for it to go off, and it detects a change in the electric magnetic field, and like even like I could walk past it by like 3 feet and it won't go off. So like for it to go off, something has to be extremely close. So like that was going like we'd ask a question, make it go off. If it's yes, it would go off on cue. And then like the EMF was going off, and like we were like, who is this? Like, is it a little girl? Because we were getting voices through the spirit box as well. So this little girl spirit was there, and we were like trying to piece it together, and that was a great night where it was like you could tell just by the energy it wasn't anything malicious. So like in a situation where it's like you feel a malicious energy, then I can understand like, all right, let's move like let's go somewhere else, even if it's just a step outside and just decompress and change energies. But like in that situation it was just like let's keep this is a person, like let's keep talking to this thing. So it's definitely something you can sink your teeth into.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, that ghost hunting stuff, man. Y'all could do that, man. Y'all are brave, man. Way braver than me, man. I don't know. I couldn't do it by myself, man. I'd have to have somebody with me. That's like, man. I can't. Man, I don't like going to people. I get people have Ouija boards in their houses. I'll go and step in there. I'm like,
never.
Oh man,
never that.
Yeah, I'm like, man, I got shivering. Like, man, it's like, oh yeah, we got Ouija board. It's like, oh yeah, I gotta head on out. You know what I mean? I gotta go.
Yeah, no, it was great being here. I'll see you guys next time. Not.
Yep. Yeah. Nope. I'm good.
Block your number.
That's right. So, man, I do want to say before I, pass it on back to Remy, man, I want to ask you about your figure right there, man. Like, how'd that come about, man? Who made that? And man, that thing was badass, man. Where can everybody get one at, man?
So, they're not. This is actually a custom made by RKO Customs. My boy Christian had it made, and I do have a design by TTD Wrestling for my actual made scanned version of me that I'm trying to work into getting it produced just out of my own pocket, which is becoming a lot more unattainable as the days move on. But I do have everything set up. But this was a gift. RKO Customs did a great job on this. Got the custom Josh Breezzyy shirt in there, Orange Cassidy jacket with great stuff here. But eventually they will be for sale, and they will be more updated to my current character and things like that. But this is my pride and joy. I love just seeing it on my shelf back here with my Lucy's. It's great.
That's right. That's awesome, man. So before I pass it on back to Remy, man, when is your next match? Is it the one this weekend?
So as of right now, I'm not on the card for the show in Burlington. But if you would like to see me on the card, make sure you at all of these motherfuckers that don't book me on the hometown show.
That's right. That's right.
So no, I'm not wrestling there. The next time, I don't have any currently booked matches. I'm in the middle of getting some new gear, completely changing characters. I'm trying to. I don't want to half-ass anything. So I'm trying to the next time I want to be seen in a wrestling ring, I want to be seen. I don't want to just show up in jeans and a cut-off T-shirt and some wrist tape and be like, all right, I'm here. I want to come out and people be like, oh, wow, I like that guy. So I'm definitely working on getting some gear made and the whole entrance and all that stuff. So it'll be soon. It'll probably be 2022. Probably be Pro South Wrestling. But when you do see me, you will see me. If that makes sense.
That's right. That's right. I got you. It ain't gonna be like Cena where you can't see me now. We gonna see.
Exactly.
You can't even do the Fetty Wap. Like, yo, man, you gonna see me. You gonna see me with both eyes. You know what I mean?
20/20 vision.
That's right. 20/20 vision. That's right. So I do want to say before I pass it on back to Remy, man, I want to say, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule, coming on chat with us. I definitely had a blast talking about wrestling, music, haunted houses and stuff, man. I even watched those things on YouTube where they go and explore abandoned places. Like, I definitely got to check
a ton of those.
Yeah, I definitely got to check it out, man, because I like looking at some of those places, man. Delaware, we don't have too much, man, but oh man, yeah, I'm gonna definitely check it out, man. But
appreciate it,
I wish you. Yeah, I wish you nothing but all the positive things for you, your family, man. I wish nothing, but all the best things for your music career, your wrestling career, all that good stuff, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Hey, Josh Breezzyy, really and truly appreciate taking time out of your busy schedules to be on our show.
Yes,
you got a lot planned with you moving, out of with you moving and planning your next step in your pro wrestling career and whatnot. But before we shut down the show, where can fans find on social media if they want to, find out when your next appearances, or if they want to purchase Josh Breezzyy merchandise? We know you got a pro wrestling tees store now. And where can bookers and promoters find you when they want to book you for their shows?
All right. Everybody can find me at Instagram at Real Josh Breezzyy, Twitter just at Josh Breezzyy, ProWrestlingTees.com/Josh Breezzyy. You can go. You want to get a little bit of energy drink? Repsports.com, code Breezzyy at checkout, save 15%. YouTube.com/Josh Breezzyy. See all my vlogs. I'm currently not really collecting figures for money purposes, but we're doing daily couple vlogs. There's still some action figure things rolling now, some Urbex stuff. So if you want to check out just my day-to-day life and get to know me as a person and a human, definitely check out my YouTube channel, Josh Breezzyy. And if you want to connect with me, Instagram/Real Josh Breezzyy. And if you're feeling crazy, onlyfans.com/Josh Breezzyy. Get that paper.
Hey, so y'all definitely make sure y'all follow this man. He's doing big things, and man got his own action figure and everything. So yeah, man, y'all definitely give this man a follow, and support indie wrestling. Like I always say, man, that's where 99% of your AEW, WWE, Impact, Ring of Honor superstars come from as well. So definitely follow this guy. If you can't make the shows he's on, you guys merchandise you can purchase and whatnot. So I'll definitely give the guy a follow as well. And check out the Nightmare Factory, y'all. We're telling you, when we say things like they're that good, they are that damn good. We're not just saying that because he's in front of us. Like legitimately, we've seen the showcases, and we're very impressed by how they put them together. So they're actually on YouTube. All three of them are on YouTube. And they're for free. You don't have to pay anything to watch them. So definitely, yeah, for free. Definitely for free. So you don't have to pay anything at all. Just go ahead and watch it and see, wrestling's, future right there in Georgia. But for those y'all in Burlington, definitely check out the Nightmare Factory show that they have this coming Saturday. I think it's like at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock.
I think it's
definitely 7. Check it out. I'm sorry, you're saying?
I think it's 7.
7. Yeah, 7 p.m. So if you're in North Carolina, if you're around the area, definitely check it out. I'm gonna try to make it, and yeah, man, it's gonna be a great show. But with that being said, it's about time for us to close this show. But before we do so, hey, yo, Rob Bass, where can fans find you on social media if they want to, talk wrestling, be on the show? Where can bookers and promoters find you when they want to book you for the shows as well?
You can find me at Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch at Rob_Bass82, and then Facebook, YouTube, Rob Bass.
Awesome. If you want to find me on social media, not that I have anything cool to say, you can find me on Twitter under @TheRemyBlue. You can find me on Facebook under Remy Blue. It's a picture of me at WrestleMania 28. You can find me on those platforms. Our podcast, however, is on numerous platforms. We're on Instagram and Twitter under @Ringside Society. We also have a Facebook group called Ringside Society. That's where that's one of the platforms where we're streaming this episode right now. We're also on Twitch under Ringside Society 2019. That's our other platform where we stream these episodes, and we're also on YouTube. Yes, we have a YouTube channel. Go ahead and subscribe. Don't just subscribe to certain videos. Put that bell to all, because we got a lot of cool interviews coming up. And we also have past interviews like the one with Chris Bornier when he told us about a documentary regarding African American female African American wrestlers in the 70s and the 80s and the 60s. Definitely check out that documentary. We got Matty Rankowski, Jasmine Allure, Dom Damien from the Nightmare Factory Class 1. The Reverend Brian Andrews, who's probably the biggest guy in that class, he was on our show. And we also had Cat Spencer, and we have many more people coming from the Nightmare Factory Class 1 that are going to be on this show. As a matter of fact, our guest tomorrow is actually going to be your former tag team partner.
Yes,
so yeah, we'll definitely be having him. Jacob, we'll be hitting you up real soon. So definitely follow us on all platforms, because we're going to be doing big things as well. But and we also have a Teespring store. Yes, we have a Teespring store where we sell Ringside Society merchandise. Cop a shirt, cop a tank top. Winter's coming up. Cop a long sleeve shirt or a hoodie and a coffee mug. All proceeds from those sales go back into keeping our show afloat. But with that being said, we just want to thank everybody that tuned in tonight. We really and truly appreciate you giving us the time of day. To those of you that are going to listen to us later on, thank you very much in advance. And to those of you that hate us, can't stand us, really and truly wish we would just shut down shop and go away. Well, like myself in the Golden Corral and Rob based at Hershey Park in Pennsylvania. And yes, Rob, I know you got a thing for the Hershey's Kisses. We ain't going anywhere for a while.
They hate us because they ain't us.
And we ain't stopping. So with that being said, we just want to let everybody know that we're very well aware that everybody and the grandparents and the parents of a podcast. But we're not your grandparents podcast, parents podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. Hey, yo, Rob Bass, one time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, and one time for Nightmare Factory Class 1 graduate, the answer, just too easy, Josh Breezzyy. And I mean easy with the rap game, you know what I'm saying? Nothing else. What type of podcast are we?
We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast.
That's right, we're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. And with that being said, we're still going through a pandemic. So until the pandemic is over, y'all stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other. Party on, dudes. We out. Peace.
Peace.
See y'all. Good night. Stay classy, Delaware.